no idea what's coming.
2019 is over already, which is crazy, so that means I'm going to talk about my favorite movies of 2019. There are still a couple of movies I haven't seen, which I might update my list on IMDb in the future for. I'll also link a video of my favorite movies of 2018 from last year, so you can see how much changed over the past year. Anyways, let's get started with this video. First off, I'm going to mention a couple of honorable mentions, starting with Knives Out, a very fun mystery film with an awesome cast. Uncut Gems, a super intense movie with Adam Sandler's best performance ever. Zombieland Double Tap, a super entertaining sequel that entertained me from beginning to end. The Irishman, the longest film I've ever seen that gives the time to tell a story and builds characters. Alright, just shut up about this next one. Terminator Dark Fate, a movie a lot of people hated, but I really liked, and I thought it had some great character work. Spider-Man Far From Home, a very exciting and entertaining sequel to Homecoming that managed to be better than its predecessor. Toy Story 4, a fantastic and emotional conclusion to the Toy Story movies. And Jojo Rabbit, Taika Waititi did a fantastic job at crafting an original film that took risks. Alright guys, it's time to talk about my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Kicking off the list is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino just at his best here. Not his best movie, definitely, but definitely a fantastic one and a super memorable one. At first I really liked this movie, but as I think about it, I'm starting to love it more because its characters are so great. Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are fantastic in this movie. These are two of my favorite characters of the year. I loved watching them on screen, and its whole last 20 minutes was insane. It was so fun, and this movie's very entertaining. Can drag a little, but that was my only issue. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is just such an enjoyable movie, and it's Tarantino doing what he loves. Next up is Hotel Mumbai. When I saw this movie for the first time, it touched me on an emotional level, and it also managed to be really entertaining in a way that's not being disrespectful to what it's based on, because it manages to be really intense and really thrilling and puts you on the edge of it, on the edge of your seat. And at the end, you're just thinking, wow, what a movie. And I thought this movie was really underrated. No one ever talked about it, never heard anyone talking about it, but I still love it, and it's one of my favorite movies of the year. In 8th place is The Lighthouse. Watching this movie was very weird. This is easily the weirdest movie. Actually, this is not the weirdest movie of the year. I'm talking to you, Midsummer. I saw this movie with my friend, and me and him were super weirded out, but I really liked it because just the whole craft of this film and everything I thought was handled so well, and they did such a great job with just making this movie. And some of the acting is fantastic. Everything is just done so well, and I love so much of this movie. I didn't review it yet. I'm gonna do a whole video where I review a bunch of movies that I missed, videos for. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, oh man, The Lighthouse was such a great movie. It feels like an older movie from the 50s actually, because it's filmed in black and white, and you feel the real artistic value with this film. And it's even really entertaining to watch as well because the performances are so well done. And yeah, I definitely recommend you see it. In 7th place is Joker. This is a lot of people's favorite movie of the year. I don't blame them because, this movie is fantastic. Joaquin Phoenix is awesome in this movie. I actually gave this movie an A+. I thought everything in it was done perfectly. It got me on an emotional level. I thought it was a really deep movie. It's intense. It was everything. It's super enjoyable. And it gave you a great message as well. And it's definitely one that you think about and kind of lingers with you after weeks of you seeing it. And that's why I love when movies do that. Ones that make you feel something, and the ones that just kind of get you on an emotional level and make you think about society and stuff. Just a lot of great stuff, and this movie is great. Next up is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Breaking Bad is my favorite show ever. I think it's just about flawless throughout the whole series. And this movie is actually the reason I watched it, because I wanted to see if this movie would actually get on my best of the year list, and it definitely did, because Breaking Bad is the best show ever, and this movie is just done so well. And just as a conclusion to such a big thing, it's not necessarily very big in its conclusion, but it's more like pretty calm, and it takes time to tell its story and everything. And just the character Jesse Pinkman is like in my top 3 favorite movie characters or show characters ever. And I just thought this movie was really well done. Taking us into the top 5 is Ad Astra. This is a film that just made me think really deeply. I saw this in IMAX as well, which was insanely worth it. And I just thought it was super thought-provoking, and just it made you just think about life and everything. And this movie got me on a deep level. It got me on an emotional level. Took its time with its characters, and man, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I loved every second of it. And it's a movie that audiences are split on, but for me, I thought it was perfect, or almost perfect at least. And I really loved watching this movie. Yeah, it's just, I thought the way they just handled this movie and everything, the way they put it together, the way I don't know, things kind of speak to you in a way in this movie. I don't know, I just thought that was really well done, and I love so much of this movie. And it just its soundtrack was really cool as well. It was kind of like a pretty eerie theme, but I thought they did such a good job with that. And it's not a movie I would watch again, but it's a movie that I'll definitely remember. Taking the spot of 4th place is Avengers Endgame. Wow, speaking about smaller movies, this one is definitely a bigger one, because it's a finale to such a huge string of movies and everything. And this is just one of those movies that you just walk out of just so satisfied. And I got it spoiled for me, so that was unfortunate, but still, this movie was so great. And I would watch it again. And I don't know, it's just such a big blockbuster that manages to get you on an emotional level as well and entertain you. And I just thought it was so well done. Just everything in this movie was pretty great. I gave it an A+. I'm not sure if I would give it the same grade I gave it then, if I saw it for the first time today. I don't know, I'd probably give it an A- or something. But either way, Avengers Endgame, such a great movie. And just, it reached me on an emotional level. Its action is awesome. The last 30 minutes are some of the best minutes in a movie ever. And yeah, it's just such a great finale. Now these next 3 movies I struggled putting in their places because they are all just so great. I thought really hard about these 3 films. So just these next three movies were really hard to put in their places. But yeah, I thought really hard about this, so here we go. Kicking off the top 3 is Dr. Sleep. Man, I love this movie so much. Ewan McGregor is fantastic in this movie. This is a movie that's kind of a slow burn, but it's good because, it takes time to tell a story, takes time to build on character, and it just takes time, moving the movie along while also being super suspenseful and having an awesome final act. And actually, I like the final act more as I think about it, which is kind of weird, but yeah, this is just such a great movie. It's a movie I would watch again. It's, as a sequel to my favorite horror movie ever, I expected so much and it actually didn't let me down, which is insane. And just this whole movie was so well done. And it's just I feel like this is a movie that's going to get more respect in the future, which it should get. And, I'm just I was blown away by how good this movie was. And it's a movie that takes its time and, all the better for it. In second place is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. This was my most anticipated movie ever, and walking into this movie I was insanely excited. The first 30 minutes of this movie I was shaking during. The rest of the movie, while not being quite as good as the first 30 minutes, still managed to be really good. Though I think this movie's the weakest of the 3, I still think they did a fantastic job with this film. Its action was the best action I've ever seen. Its characters are really fun. The music is great, and I think they did a great job with the story as well. I love this movie, and I had a total blast with it from start to finish. Alright guys, it's time to talk about my favorite movie of 2019. This was the movie that I loved the most out of any movie that came out last year. So in first place as my favorite movie of 2019 is Ford v Ferrari. This movie was the movie I walked out of the happiest in 2019. It's the movie I had the most fun at last year. Its racing scenes were super intense. The characters were awesome, and I love seeing them on screen. And there is some great emotion in this film. I thought everything in this movie was just about perfect. Just walking out of this, I was so happy, and it didn't let me down one bit. Well, that does it, guys. That's my favorite movies of 2019. I hope 2020 is a great year, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.